Hello everyone, I am back with my stories. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story about a day I thought I was going to die. This happened during my last vacation. I was so happy to be home, taste my mom's food and play with my siblings, so and so. As my usual busy girl things, I had my schedule packed with annual gatherings, meetings and events. And all of a sudden, I fell ill. I got a fever and it became severe within 2 days. The fever kept increasing continuously, so the doctor recommended a blood test. And when the report came, it was dengue fever. Boom! My whole family was shaken to the core, were rushing between hospitals and laboratories, finding cure to my problem. Because all my life, I have never fallen seriously ill, so they were very concerned. But as for me, I was not that worried at first, because to my knowledge, I somehow felt my condition was not fatal. I thought I was safe. But destiny had other plans. My fever kept increasing continuously. It became severe day by day. So I had to be admitted in the hospital. Even in the hospital, it was kind of okay for me at first, because I was just under observation. The usual stuffs were taking on. So I was not that much worried. But God forbid, my platelet count started decreasing drastically to the point they had to start treating me seriously. And that was when everything went out of hand. They placed a pressure meter beside me. I was told not to eat heavy meals. They started IV fluids. And the worst part was when they inserted a catheter inside me. It was so uncomfortable even to sit up in my own bed. And they sucked blood out of me 4 times a day. At that point, I realized being admitted in the hospital is not only about the physical struggles. Because when you are admitted, you start to see the sufferings of the people around you. That is not something you get to see when you are at home. When I was at the hospital, there was a patient in the bed beside mine. I think she was in her 40s, I guess. She's always so funny, cheerful, and always so happy. I started a liking towards her. And one day, she passed away. Just like that, in front of my own eyes, she passed away. I witnessed how suddenly a life can end. I saw the panic, the helplessness of the people around us when the death comes. And there was me hitting a realization that illness is not only about the pain. It is a confrontation of the reality that life is fragile. Watching someone die in front of my eyes was and will be the part of the trauma of becoming ill. It still stays with me. And that is when I began to feel hopeless. I still remember how I cried for hours and hours in my bed. I was weeping and ranting and complaining and asking questions to myself. Am I also going to die? Just like that? All of a sudden? These questions were repeated in my head. At that moment, I didn't want to change this world. I didn't want to finish my degree. I didn't want to get the first class. I didn't even want to do this thesis speech. All I wanted to do is to go home to be healthy. And that realization hit me hard, because at that point, I was wondering, have I ever asked for God for good health? At least have I ever thanked for the healthy body I have been given? Never. And right now, I want you all ask yourselves the same question. Have you ever thought about your own healthy body you have been given? Have you ever looked at your own legs when you run? Have you ever thought about your eyes when you look at beautiful things? At least, have you ever visited a hospital and realized how blessed we all are? If not, I want you all start doing this today. Let us not wait until a disease arrives to make us all grateful, just like I did. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.